And welcome to FormulaXbox Season 4. It's round 17 and we are here in Japan for what promises to be a fantastic Japanese Grand Prix. ElusiveKev may have locked out the championship title last time out in Korea, but he's third on the grid for this particular race, with Pro Racing on pole and Drastic Midget in a fantastic P2 as we have 4 lights and now 5. And we're away in Japan. ElusiveKev off to a relatively poor start. Drastic Midget's got a better start than his teammate and is going to be challenging for P1 as they head into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top? Looks like Pro Racing's got the position covered, but now ElusiveKev's gone deep into turn 2. He's gone wide and MGB has followed him. And we've got another car, Sam, I believe, behind him has followed him as well. So all 3 of them have dropped behind the pack and going to have to work to do now to catch up and get back into their respective positions. As we see Drastic Midget in P2 now with a equaling his best qualifying performance, I believe. Pro Racing's got his nose at the inside of Pro Racing at turn 1, and Pro Racing shuts the door at turn 2. And I don't blame Drastic Midget from settling into P2 there. He kind of played dare with his front wing at turn 1, but thought better of it in the end. As we see ElusiveKev's perspective of the start now in P8. A small lobby for this particular race, but as we've seen in the past, you don't always need big numbers to make races exciting. As we see 3 cars heading wide at turn 2, misjudging the corner, following ElusiveKev into there, I think. As we see ElusiveKev now into P5, says thank you very much gentlemen, I'll have a few extra positions. As we see ElusiveKev now on his fight back early on around the outside of ElusiveKev, tries down the inside of Insignia into the hairpin. Fantastic overtaking from ElusiveKev. 2 cars, space of 2 corners, and that's why he's the champion once again, 3-time champ now. As Drastic Midget gets it wrong into Degnan 2 with a lockup. That's going to allow StopMat through, and MGB is going to follow StopMat through as well. So Drastic Midget losing out 2 positions there, and in the space of about a few seconds, and he's got work to do to make up them positions again and catch up to where he started this race in P2. As we see now ElusiveKev heading off at Degna 2, so it's catching a few of the drivers out early on in this race, and ElusiveKev just adds his name to that list. And now I believe this is a replay of ElusiveKev's overtake, as we see ElusiveKev as he hits Insignia, actually, as Insignia comes back from a mistake, and ElusiveKev, you see him diving up the inside of Insignia. ElusiveKev takes avoiding action and ends up losing 2 places as a result. So bad luck for ElusiveKev there, dives out the way of an incident and actually loses positions. But he's got a fight back on his hands now. As you see ElusiveKev up the inside of StopMat now on his fight back towards the end of lap 1. Insignia's gone in there as well. It's 3 abreast into 130R. This cannot end well. It's not ended well for Insignia. He's spun out, and I believe StopMat has just about carried on. But it'll be interesting to see what happened there, and we see it from StopMat's perspective now. As the ElusiveKev tries to get up the inside, he makes it, and Insignia fancies a piece of the action as well. And as you see going in the apex, StopMat bails out. Insignia spins out. And Insignia has come off worse from that of the 3 that headed into that apex, and so ElusiveKev just about made it away unscathed and passes Drastic Midget as well, his teammate, and he's going to take the lead now as Pro Racing gets it wrong at Degna 2. So everybody's getting it wrong at Degna 2 today, and Drastic Midget on a fight back is now in P5, and MGB in P4. One of the joined ElusiveKev in heading wide, in fact, at turn 2 on the first lap. So there's a lot of overtaking, a lot of changing of positions early doors in this race. It's difficult to keep track. As you see, Insignia now heading up the inside of Drastic Midget. So Insignia's now got another place off Drastic Midget, and Drastic Midget is not having the best of times early on in this race after what was a fantastic qualifying performance for him. As we see now, ElusiveKev in the lead of the race, but he's locked up the outside, the unloaded tyre, and he's headed off into the hairpin. Is he going to get away? No, Pro Racing has taken the lead back from him now, so ElusiveKev making a few uncharacteristic mistakes, you've got to say, early doors in this race, and Drastic Midget, following in his teammate's footsteps, is now in the gravel trap, and down to P8 now, so he's got work to do to catch up them positions. His tyres are overheated, so that's going to take a few corners to resolve. As you see Sam almost going deep into Degna 2 again, that's going to give ElusiveKev just the prerogative he needs to make a move up the inside of the hairpin, and Sam makes it easy for him, locks up, and ElusiveKev takes the position nicely. But no, Sam's got the better traction, of course, and has taken the position back again. So ElusiveKev, can he get tucked back into the slipstream? Can he ever go into spoon curve? It's going to be ambitious. It's not going to be a move at all because he's bailed out of it. But look, Sam's gone wide. ElusiveKev has gone at the inside, the exit of spoon curve, and has got the position. So, ElusiveKev into P6. Took him a while, but he finally got there in the end. As we see now, Drastic Midget coming into the pits. Lap 4 I should say, in P8. And it looks like RLS stopped on the same lap, so there's a bit of a double shuffle for Red Bull here. As Drastic Midget goes onto the prime compound tyre. We see RLS after his pit stop he's got Pro Racing in front of him. This is for the net lead of the race. So RLS on Pro Racing for the hairpin. This is critical for the race. RLS looking to get the cutback. Not going to quite work, I don't think, there. And Pro Racing's managed to cover the position off. As we see now, Stopmat's in P1. And MGB is harrying him at the hairpin. MGB looking to take the lead. He's taking it provisionally, but Stopmat, no, he can't quite get the traction. Can't quite get the grip on them old tyres. And Stopmat could lose out here, in fact, because obviously RLS and Drastic Midget and basically everyone that stopped the lap before them will obviously get the undercut with the fresher tyres that Stopmat's been struggling around on them old tyres. We see battle for the net lead now, RLS and Pro Racing. And this is critical for the race. RLS sets the fastest lap. He's got the DRS, and Stopmat's nowhere to be seen here as he's lost out in the pit stops. RLS down the inside into turn 1. He's just about made it stick, has he? Yes, indeed. So we see it from Stopmat's perspective now of another incident. Is Insignia heading up the inside into turn 1 with the DRS, a lot easier than RLS move on Pro Racing, you've got to say, and gets the move done into P4. Stopmat down to P5. Stopmat was really and Insignia's headed off. He's in the hedge on the exit of turn 2, and that's not a great way for him to end his race. And yep, we see he's retired from the race now. So Insignia, after that great move on the inside of Stopmat with the DRS into P4, is now not going to be hunting down a podium at all because he's barriered his car. As ElusiveKev takes an off-road excursion just about before he's hitting the wall at Degner 2. I thought that one was barrier bound, but ElusiveKev taking the scenic route there and just about gets away unscathed. You see someone's hit the polystyrene, but Stopmat's now down the inside of Pro Racing, who seems to have had a bit of a drama there at Degner 2. Someone who's not having too many dramas in the second half of this race is RLS. He may have had a few at the start, but he's going to take his 12th victory of the season, and as his tyre's about to go off, he's just about nipped that in the right time. So RLS wins once again. ElusiveKev comes home in P5 after what was a dramatic race for him. But as we see the final classification, RLS didn't make it easy for himself, you've got to say, in this race, but still locks out the victory. MGB in his Tier 1 debut comes in home 2nd. Stopmat in 3rd. Pro Racing in 4th. ElusiveKev 5th. Drastic Midget, after a great qualifying for him, ends up in 6th, so not a great Sunday for him. Sam in P7, and Insignia, well, he ended up in the wall and ends up P8. So RLS your winner once again in his Red Bull, and still points hunting so far this season, even though he has locked out the championship title. So as you see, RLS 379, nobody can catch him right now. Jason Force, who didn't actually appear in this race, is now on 164 points, and behind him it's a very close battle indeed between P3, 4, 5 and 6 as they battle it out for the coveted 3rd spot. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next round. Goodbye.